Hello, and welcome to another heartfelt episode. I'm starting off with a bang, everyone. Welcome to another heartfelt episode, also filled with heart.
Gross. Sounds like some sort of
Can
stuffed
it be filled
hand
with heart?
Pie, some sort of an
No.
empanada.
Heart as a concept.
pierogi.
It's filled with that. I am Donald
What
Weigel.
is this show?
And you are listening to We Only Look Thin. I am Donald Weigel, and I have lost just over 100 pounds.
And I am Catherine Weigel, his delightful, charming, intelligent, and good-looking wife, who has also lost weight, and I have lost 155 American pounds.
You sure have, and you are all of those things and more.
And modest.
And
humble.
Humble, yes. And if you won't sing your praises, who will?
Like humble pie, which is full of hearts.
Yeah.
Heart-filled humble pie.
Humble pie, which you should probably not indulge in too much of this
You can't find the calories on that.
summer season.
There's no points.
So
Why?
we have another wonderful chat with Kate coming up soon, which you can look forward to. And there is literal water cooler talk in it.
There is talk of water and coolers and cooler water.
Not only is there water cooler talk, there's talk about actual water coolers in it. So you have that to look forward to.
So get a big frosty glass of water if you are listening to this episode, which I guess you are. I mean, if you're listening to it, then
If you're not listening to this episode,
Still get some
You
water.
can still get some water.
yes. So it is summertime. Summertime is a good time to drink water, wouldn't you say, Donald?
I would say it's an excellent time. It's one of the 4 best seasons of the year in which to drink water.
We also have people listening in the southern hemisphere, and it might not be summer. Is not summer also a good time to drink water?
I would say yes. Not summer is also. I mean, it's in the top 4.
It's still also the top 4?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So drink water. Drink it with lemon. Drink it warm with tea, like we are.
Wow. Is
What?
this the water episode?
Well, I think you opened it up with water talk, water cooler talk, cooler water talk.
That's because we talk about it with Kate.
But we are also going to talk about opportunities to eat food for a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
And if you are in the northern hemisphere, you are experiencing weather. And, and that weather may or may not, depending on what part in.
Other hemispheres may not be experiencing weather.
No,
but
it is. I'm pretty sure it's localized to Los Angeles, California, in which we are experiencing weather, and weather brings with it holidays, and holidays bring with it food.
Yes.
So we are going to talk about something that we've noticed in America, and the use of the word salad.
Right.
Salad can be tossed around. The word salad is
Salad can be tossed around.
It is
Wow.
tossed around willy-nilly.
Tossed around
hither
salad. Well
and
done.
thither.
Well
But
done.
salad, it's a broad concept, wouldn't you say? Don't you
Yeah.
think people use the word liberally when describing certain foods?
They certainly do. I think they want to make things sound healthier than they are. So when you go to your backyard barbecues, as we have in the US of A,
the front yard barbecues, the tailgating opportunities, or even restaurants, including bars
Yes.
of salad.
so potato salad is not actually salad.
No, they put the word salad after potato to make it seem like a healthy treat. Like, oh, I'm just having some salad, bringing some salad to the BBQ.
I can eat as much of this as I would like
It's
because
salad.
it is salad.
It's salad.
No one ever got heavy by eating salad. They did.
Do you know what the ingredients are for potato salad?
All the mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise.
All the
Mayonnaise
mayonnaise.
is the first ingredient in potato salad.
Mayonnaise is this sort of magical / terrible substance upon which if you just took each individual ingredient and added it up, it wouldn't be that high calorie, but somehow when they're mixed together, the calories are quadrupled.
It's a whole food. I'm eating a potato and it's
Yeah.
in a salad.
Yeah, also pasta salad does not count as salad.
No, you're eating spaghetti basically with mayonnaise and it's cold.
Yeah.
And so that doesn't make it a salad.
Yeah, and you got your 3-bean salad, which granted has beans in it, but has all the oil as well.
Does it? Yeah. But there are also other kinds of salad. your ambrosia
salad.
Oh, it's so helpful.
Oh, it's salad.
Oh, it's like I'm in Narnia.
It's salad. It's got to be good for you, right? I'm
Doesn't
just going to eat as
like...
much of it as you want.
I actually don't know that I've ever had it, but I'm pretty sure it has like mayonnaise and whipped cream and maybe some Miracle Whip.
No, it's usually Jell-O with a bunch of marshmallows in it, I think.
I don't.
What am I thinking of?
I don't know. Don't send us. It was actually funny. Our daughter was talking about something being her favorite movie, and she was describing it. I was like, "That's not your favorite movie." She's like, "No, it is. It's about kids and aliens." And I was like, "No, like it is." Like she was talking about The Dark Crystal. She's like, "It's my favorite movie." And I was like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, she's never watched it in our presence that I'm aware of.
And she was like, "No, it's my favorite because it's like kids, and then these aliens take these kids to live with them." And I was like, "The Dark Crystal is made of Muppets." And she got this confused look on her face and was like, "Oh, I don't know. I guess that's not my favorite movie." So, bringing this back to ambrosia salad, it's not salad. Like, salad has to include some sort of lettuce or
some
tomato.
Some sort of leafy green
as the primary ingredient. Like, it can have a whisper of dressing. It's fine. But if it is mayonnaise-based, and if it spoils in the sunlight, like...
You cannot eat as much Snickers salad as you would like.
But it's a salad!
Yeah, or ice cream salad.
No.
Fruit salad, maybe.
Fruit salad is okay as long as it doesn't have mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Like, if it spoils in the sun like a vampire, you cannot consider a salad. But have some, but maybe have it in a very small amount.
Yeah. So these are some tips from your buddies at We Only Look Thin.
Yeah. Don't confuse. If you're confused about what is or is not a salad, it's probably not a salad. Because, like, if someone's like, "Oh, I brought salad," and you look at it and you're like, "Oh, good, a salad. Oh, yeah, no, that'll be good." Like, if you talk about it that way, it's fine to eat.
If you're not excited about it, you can eat as much of it as you want.
Yeah, but if you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna tuck into this.
I am gonna eat that salad.
I'm gonna eat the spaghetti and potato salad with Snickers on top."
Probably not something you should indulge in.
No, every once in a while, if it's your grandma's Snicker salad that she only makes once a year, have some, but make no mistake, people, it's not a salad. Just call it a pile of Snickers, because that's what it is with mayonnaise. Like,
so now you're about to tuck into the salad that is our conversation with Kate.
Our normal salad, where you're like, "Oh, good, it's a Kate episode.
Good.
No, that's good. It's salad.
Yeah, no, we're
that's good. I'm gonna have some."
You can eat as much of it as you want, though, and it's good for you. So please relax, sit back.
You don't even have to track it. It's that kind of salad.
It's that kind of
salad.
salad.
You didn't gain 200 pounds just by eating a salad of our episodes. This is a mayonnaise-free episode.
This salad has gone quite off the rails at this point.
Sour and stale. Yeah. So enjoy. Tuck in. Listen.
Please rate us on iTunes, rate and review us. You can email us at weonlylookthin@gmail.com.
Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook. Lots of exciting things happening there.
And please continue to listen. We truly appreciate it. And now tuck into the Kate Salad
episode. Bye. Hello, and welcome back to We Only Look Thin, and we have another thrilling episode with Kate. Hey there, Kate.
Hey.
And Don's here, too.
And Donald is here, too. Hi, Don. Another thrilling episode with Donald. Hi, Donald.
Hi. How are you? Oh, that's a surprise. Oh, it's nice for you to say hello to me.
So, it's been a couple of weeks since we have spoken on the air, and I know we've had some chats offline a little bit, but why don't you remind us where we were last time, and we'll start there. So what were we doing the last time we were talking, Kate?
Sure. The last couple times we talked, I was struggling a little bit. I had come back from a weekend away and I was ready to get right back on it. And then when we talked a couple weeks later, I had sort of flailed around a little bit for those couple of weeks. And since we spoke, I had been really taking a step back and looking at how things were going. And I realized that for the entire month of May, I basically went up and down the same few pounds, say within a 3-pound range, the whole month. And I was telling myself, like, I'm really doing this. I don't know why. And then when I took a step back and looked, I was mostly doing it most days, but there were a fair amount of days when I wasn't. And so when I thought about it, I didn't want to come back and have another discussion where I was like, more of the same. So I decided it was time to change something up. And almost 2 weeks ago now, I switched to tracking everything in MyFitnessPal and logging my calories. And the main reason that I had been resistant to that before is I've fallen into what I think can sort of be a bit of a slippery slope when I was counting points or calories, where I would eat the things I wanted to eat all day and feel satisfied and good, and then look at it and say, oh, I have 500 calories left. I can eat 500 calories of whatever just because it's there. Not because I'm hungry, not because I really want it, but because, I feel like I can have it. And
we call that the Katherine Weigel plan, because I definitely was hoarding calories for a while just to have, 600 to 800 calories of dessert at night because I wanted to have what I wanted to have. So I get that. So it's definitely a balance.
Yeah. And I didn't want to do that. And that was the reason I think I'd been resistant to counting calories. And then I decided, well, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. This is all in my own head. I can say I'm going to count calories, and I can also say I'm still okay with stopping if I'm under my calories, if I'm satisfied. I can do both. So for almost 2 weeks now, a couple days short of 2 weeks, I've been doing that, and I'm down 4 pounds in these 2 weeks. So
insert clapping sound.
Yeah, look at
I don't know if we should clap into the microphone right now. I need to get one of those soundboards with vuvuzelas and.
Well, and I think this dovetails perfectly into an episode that we recently did about being able to switch up the method when. Be focused on the end result, but being flexible on the plan. And I've actually done the same because I had a similar May in which I was kind of up and down over and over. And what I had been doing wasn't working. So I actually switched to sort of an intermittent fasting / counting calorie plan. And I think that agility that one has to kind of look at your toolbox and say, like, what could I use this week that will motivate me and keep me focused? And so I think it's something for our listeners out there in TV land to consider too, is that you can switch things when they don't work as well. And it's okay to, have a general plan, but then be flexible on the method. So it sounds like that's really working for you right now.
Totally. And I also have realized things. I think, Katherine, you and I might have talked about this a little bit offline. I'm giving up this aspirational idea of I'm going to come home and I'm going to want to cook all these great recipes and I'm going to, make all the things that I've seen on Instagram. When honestly, what happens sometimes is I come home and I'm tired and I just want dinner to be ready. And so I'm leaning.
Amen.
Yeah. I think me too.
Yeah. And I'm leaning into that. And instead of buying things that are going to be complicated to cook, I'm buying things that I really like that are easy. And you know what? Some nights if I'm having scrambled eggs and cheese with toast for dinner, I really like scrambled eggs. So for me, that's a win. And it's ready in 5 minutes as opposed to, a 20 ingredient recipe, which I'm going to look at, I'm going to say, no, thanks. And then I'm going to be tempted to eat something not so great.
Yeah, I love that. And that's really, I think, part of the message of our show that we've been talking about over and over. It's like, you don't have to be perfect. Like, you just need to do what you can do. And, this idealized version of myself where I make all these wonderful from scratch meals, is not going to exist.
No. And, and I think that kind of ties into too, like, people I know who, join communities go like, oh, I'm starting this new thing. What are some great recipes? And I was like, what? Like, I don't use any, like, oh, you mean like eggs and bacon, or last night rotisserie chicken and, the frozen mac and cheese from Trader Joe's that you mentioned. Like, there is no shame in being your true, authentic self. And there are weeks, like last Sunday, I think Donald and I spent half the day food prepping. And, but it was like, pre-chopped cauliflower, pre-cut carrots. I mean,
Yeah,
it's like this
still
hybrid
within the-
semi-homemade.
within the within the food prep, using the I'm just repeating exactly what you just said. Using the pre-chopped cauliflower, using the the green beans that are already trimmed and washed,
And pumping up the volume.
Pump up the volume.
But that's real life. And there are weeks when I can be my Pinterest worthy self, and then there are weeks, or months, where I'm just skating by on prepackaged foods, and that's okay. So you're okay, Kate. You're okay. We approve of your message.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're doing great. Have you changed anything else, or are you pretty much sticking to what you were doing before besides adding the logging, the tracking?
I think the only other thing I'd say is realizing even when something starts to feel like it's becoming a habit, if I don't keep my focus on it, I can quickly slide back away. So it should be a simple thing. Drinking water every day. I keep feeling like it should be something I don't have to think about, but anytime I don't think about it, I don't drink enough. So for me, I have to keep that focus on water. And I have, I think I have a routine that works pretty well as long as I keep the focus, which is I have a 30-ounce reusable water bottle at work. I fill it up as soon as I get in. I tell myself I have to finish it before I can eat lunch. And then I fill it up again and tell myself I have to finish it before the end of the day. So that gives me 60 ounces of water at work. And then when I come home, I only have 20 ounces to drink either before or after work, which is, pretty easy. But on days that I don't do that, sometimes I can get to the end of a day at work and realize I've only drank half of the water bottle all day. So I've had 15 ounces of water instead of the 60. And that's something that I know is important to me, and I know it makes a difference. And it's just a little thing that can easily fall to the side. And it's one of those things that when I said, well, I'm doing it, I don't know why it isn't working. Part of the reason is I wasn't drinking water.
And is the issue that you're drinking other things that have calories in them instead, or you're just not hydrating?
I'd say it's more that I'm just not hydrating. I do drink Diet Pepsi, which also doesn't have calories, but I know that it's not as good for me. So I try to limit the Diet Pepsi. So Diet Pepsi, I have 2 17-ounce bottles each day. So then my total water, or my total liquid intake is more like 120 ounces, I guess. But I like for at least 80 ounces of it to be water.
And have you ever considered the fact that the real reason that the water helps is because you're getting extra steps walking to the bathroom back and forth?
I do not doubt that has an impact.
I actually, I don't want to get into water cooler talk because I'll expose myself, but I actually had I had a coworker who would only fill his cup halfway so that he could get in more steps during the day. And it made me so angry that he was spending half of his day going to get water. Must be nice. This was also the man that ran 5 miles in the morning before work. And I spent 18 years of employment with this guy just giving him dagger looks. And then I realized I could also do that. Yeah. 18 years wasted.
How dare you actually put in the work?
Yeah, well, he also wouldn't refill the water cooler, which is basically the most evil thing. He would tip it over and empty it before refilling it. And I have a lot of rage issues I'm working through, which is maybe why I work from home now, because now the rage can just be focused on myself.
You should listen to our gravity issues episode.
I should, myself?
You should listen to it yourself and imagine it's not about weight loss, but about things at work, forcing coworkers to fill water
But that's
coolers.
what gravity issues was about. I learned about it at work. But you know what?
Speaking of water cooler stories, I have to say one time I was attempting to change it and I dropped the water bottle.
Oh.
Gotta say that's not a good thing. It goes rolling down the hall with water glugging out of it the whole way.
Well, we ended up having to switch to 3-gallon jugs because only the women in the office were changing the water because he was not, and the 5-pound was too heavy. So we could do water talk. Water cooler talk, just one
Yeah.
whole episode on bad things that happen at water coolers.
I'm working at the Paramount lot, and their water coolers are actually plumbed in. So
What?
yeah, you don't no bottles. They just
Then what do you have to complain about? You come home complaining every day.
I find other things.
You find other things.
Yeah.
Find other things to complain about.
I have a list on my Trello of things to complain about when I get home, and I like go down it and check them off.
Yeah, it all ends up on me. But I know you said that the water was something that you were focusing on, and forgive me for not recalling, but you actually said something really motivational and inspiring in our accountability group a week ago about being the kind or expressing yourself as the kind of person you want to be. Why don't you remind me how inspiring you were? Because I can't remember, but I remember it was inspiring.
Sure. I was having a thought recently, and it was actually in regards to travel. And I was thinking, I wish I was the kind of person who unpacked my suitcase as soon as I got to a hotel. And then I thought, why can't I be that kind of person? Like, all I have to do is unpack my suitcase when I get to a hotel room, and then I'm the kind of person who does that. And it really got me thinking about that phrasing, I'm the kind of person who, or I'm not the kind of person who, and what are other things that I could be changing just by saying, I'm the kind of person who does this. I'm the kind of person who doesn't snack between meals. And that has become true over the time that we've been talking to each other. It's not something that would have been true before that. I'm not the kind of person who always has to have dessert. And I used to be, and now I don't. So it really got me thinking and gave me a different way to sort of quickly talk myself into or out of things. I'm not the kind of person who eats everything that comes into the office for every holiday. And that's true now. But now it's easier for me when someone brings in donuts because it happened to be National Donut Day. I can say,
Yeah,
I remember that.
office
person
too.
who
Yeah.
indulges.
No, that was huge. And now I want to be the kind of person that remembers the inspiring things that other people say, because when you posted that, it was Donut Day, and I work in my kitchen and am at arm's length to my pantry and refrigerator at all times. And once you said that, I said to myself, Catherine Weigel, you are not the kind of person that just grabs things out of the refrigerator. And it's actually helped. And that was a huge, look at you, inspiring me to be my better self. But really, that thing of like, what kind of person do you want to be? And that really actually helped me, because I got to the point where I was just grabbing little snacks and, maybe it was just untracked carrots. But I don't want to be the kind of person that hides behind our pantry sneaking food secretively. So, but the way you speak to yourself and the kind of things you say to yourself about who you want to be, I think do make a big impact. So 3 cheers. No, you know what? 5 cheers to you.
5 cheers to you.
For
hip hip.
Are we going to do this?
No, we're not. We can
do it in post.
I'm thinking of getting. I'm not the kind of person who ... tattooed on the back of my hand, so that every time I start reaching for something that I don't want to eat, I see that, and it reminds me that I'm not that kind of person.
Yep.
That would be good. Or maybe you could just wear Google Glass, and just have it tattooed on the inside of your Google Glass. You're not the kind of
anymore.
person.
No, Google Glass isn't a thing anymore.
Well, maybe you could get them cheap, and then you could
Google discontinued it.
They did? Oh, well. All right.
Otherwise, it's a fantastic idea.
It is. So I love that you're changing the way you're talking about yourself. I know you had maybe a visitor stay with you the other day, and you were going to go see a movie, and you weren't going to eat snacks. And how did that all go?
Yep. I went to see Ocean's 8 on Friday when it came out. And so the last time I went to the movies was, I guess, at the beginning of May. And I ended up going totally off my plan. I used the movies as an excuse to buy sweet treats, multiple sweet treats, and then kept eating sweet treats all weekend. So this time, ahead of time, I thought, okay, you're going to be at the movies. You're going to be at the concession stand. How do I want to handle this? So what I decided to do was ahead of time, the night before, I bought a Luna bar on my way home, which is a protein bar that tastes like a candy bar. And I only bought one because if I buy a box of them, I will eat a box of them.
Oh,
But I bought
yeah.
one bar. Yep.
Definitely.
And I stuck it in my bag and I said, that is for the movies. And it was planned ahead of time. I had actually planned it out, I think 2 days ahead of time, that this is what I was going to do. And then I knew that I had it. And it was really easy at the movies to not get anything else at the concession stand. And actually, we had gone out to eat before the movies. So I ended up not being hungry and I didn't eat it during the movie. I did have it later that day, though, because I had planned for it, I had counted on it, I had gotten it, and I decided that I would have it. And for me, I feel like that's the way that sugar treats need to happen. Something that is planned a couple days ahead, is worked into my calories for the day, and that I'm buying only what I'm going to have. For now, that's the way that I need to handle it, because if I buy extra or if I do it in the spur of the moment, it can just set me off.
Totally. And I think that is actually a very good tip for our viewing audience. Just because something is low calorie or healthful, if one can't control oneself with portions or, buying more than one or buying bulk at Costco, just having one at home is a good idea, because I definitely have issues with low calorie treats turning into very high calorie treats when I go for a second or a third or a fifth, which might have happened in the past. So I did that just today when we went shopping. I bought one of a treat that I wanted because I knew that in the past, on the days when I'm feeling really in control, it's not an issue. But on those snacky, weird days, I can betray myself by eating multiples.
Yeah.
So yeah, buying one to a second location.
Yeah, we were. Yeah, exactly. We were just at Costco recently, and they have these
as recently as yesterday.
Yeah, they have these boxes of Kind bars. They have these half-size Kind bars that are only 100 calories each, and
you can't afford not to buy them, Donald. You're a fool for not.
I had a
buying
box. I had a box in my hand, and I then realized I was probably not the kind of person who could bring a box home and then just have 100-calorie Kind bar.
Well, and when you had done that, actually, you were like, "Oh, look, they're 100 calories," and I had just had a really bad bingey episode, and I kind of had this glazed over look in my eye, and I was like, "No, you could totally buy them. Fine." And then I was like, you know what? Do not bring them home. Like, please don't bring them home, because, Donald's going to be like, where'd the Kind bars go? And I'd be like, I donated them to science. I definitely didn't eat all 100 of them.
Definitely did not eat them all.
But now I feel fine. Like, you could have Kind bars in here and I wouldn't do anything. But my future self might not be as trustworthy. So
yeah, exactly.
Don't bring them home.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you had a really good week after some struggles. Is there, not to put you on the spot, is there anything we haven't touched on that you would like to relay?
Nope, I don't think so. At this point, my plan for the next couple of weeks till we talk is really to keep doing the same, to continue tracking in MyFitnessPal and to keep the focus on, water, what I'm eating, and eating when I'm hungry, which, I feel like I've been saying the same thing ever since we started talking, but I think the difference is in sort of the day-to-day way that actually happens or doesn't happen. And the more that I keep my focus on it, the better that it happens, the better the results that I have. So my full intention is the next time we talk to come tell you that I've been really on track for 2 weeks and to share that I've made more progress.
Yay.
Well, hot dog. I can't wait.
And speaking of progress, sometimes when I need a little inspiration, I listen to a podcast called We Only Look Thin. And I was listening to our first episode together just this week. And, it's interesting to see how far Donald has come and how far I have come. But honestly, at all yucks aside, the first episode that we did together was pretty serious. And, you coming forward in a time of personal need, and listening to that, and then just thinking about how you've developed over the last few months and your tone and your your voice has changed. And I know, we didn't know each other as well back then, but I'm just, speaking of non-scale victories, I just feel like you've come so far in terms of your willingness to not only to share, but to self-correct and to look for alternatives for yourself, and being flexible. And I'm super impressed with you and just so grateful that you're a part of my life. Donald, are you also grateful?
Oh, I'm extremely grateful. And I appreciate you. I think about things that you've said and tips that you've given and really taken them to heart. That hunger scale thing has really been good for me. And I had never heard that
because
before.
The only scale he ever looked at was the rage scale. So now he knows that there's a hunger scale. But honestly, it's, you're really a big part of our podcast and also part of the community. And that thing about being the kind of person that you want to be was really huge. So please know that as much as we are inspiring you, and I know we are, that you're shining a mirror back on us too. So I'm just, I'm very grateful.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate all of this. I appreciate our conversations. I appreciate all that you put into the Facebook group. And, I think especially like you were just saying, but knowing that we're going to talk, being able to think about things that we've said. And like I said, a big part of what inspired me to make these changes that I made about 2 weeks ago was I didn't want to come back to you and say, oh, more of the same. Like, this accountability is really important to me. And I haven't gone back and listened to that early episode. I'm not sure if I will. Yeah. Honestly, I feel like it might be sort of tough, but I do know that I feel totally different than I did at that point, because even if you're only a few steps into something, it's much better than standing and looking at that beginning point and saying, I need to start, but I'm not. I need to start, but I'm not. It's a much better feeling to say, I did start and I'm doing something and I'm making changes. So I really, really appreciate you guys, and all your honesty and accountability is really, really helpful.
Yay. Well, and two, I mean, I have already lost 100 pounds in this journey, and maintenance has been very difficult for me. I've celebrated a year at maintenance, and I'm still learning. And there are things that come up in our accountability group and others where I can rediscover focus for myself. So there's no, for anyone out there listening, there really isn't an end, which is why this podcast will go on forever. But honestly, I have gone into sort of an intermittent fasting and calorie counting thing, and I never, 6 months ago would have even considered it. And right now it's working for me, and I'm totally open to it not working. And in 2 or 3 weeks having to kind of refocus and examine my plan. But right now it's giving me a lot of focus, and I never would have even thought about that if it hadn't been for an accountability group. So, the ability to learn and grow and be flexible to find what works on what season we're in, summer, winter, fall, whatever, I think is really important. So I'm really grateful for the dialogue. And Donald was looking at me like I'm grateful for my own voice.
I feel like you sort of just skimmed over a really big part of that, though, which is that you just passed a year of maintenance. That's a really big deal.
Yay.
Yes, congratulations. No, I was partially imagining the people out there going, must be nice having problems with maintenance.
But it's true. It is true. Freaking struggle. Well, no, I think we might have even done a 1 year episode anniversary. I can't remember. We talk a lot.
I am not on a year of maintenance. I'm a few months.
You are? Oh, I guess so. No, yeah. But it's, it's in the past I would have just gone and dove into a pizza to celebrate being thin, and now I am celebrating with ice chips.
Yes.
So anyway, well, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for sharing your insights, and you are inspiring too. So,
well, that came across a little condescending.
No, but we're all inspiring.
We're inspiring each other. It's like a snake eating its own tail of inspiringness.
Okay, I was going to say like a double Dutch, like jump ropey thing.
Jump ropey thing. Okay, that's better.
Yeah, that's all right. Anyway, well, wonderful. Well, thank you so much. And we look forward to speaking with you again and continuing our inspiring didgeridoo of double dutching and snake eating for some reason. Eat some snakes, people.
What are the calories in snake? I need to figure that out.
You wouldn't eat a snake.
No, I wouldn't.
Because you're terrified of them. Yeah, anyway, all right. Well, thank you so much, Kate. And we will talk to you again soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
/hello.
The information that you hear on this podcast is for informational purposes only. The hosts are not medical professionals. You should always consult with your doctor, nurse, or other certified health professional before beginning any diet or fitness program.